Why were some ancient women buried alive? What could make an entire village bury a woman alive? She wasn't a murderer. She wasn't a monster. She hadn't committed any crime. Yet hundreds of people stood and watched. No one tried to stop it. So what could people fear so much that burying a woman alive felt like the only answer? One ancient coffin contained marks that later sparked disturbing debate. Debate that continues, even today. Could someone have still been alive when it was sealed? No one can say for certain, but it raises a terrifying question. How many women throughout history were buried alive, on purpose? History records that she wasn't the last, and one of the oldest clues takes us to an ancient city that disappeared thousands of years ago. More than 4,500 years ago. In what is now Iraq, archaeologists uncovered one of history's strangest royal tombs. A queen lay peacefully inside, but she wasn't alone. Around her were dozens of bodies, musicians, servants, guards, attendants, all carefully arranged, almost as if they had quietly laid down and never got back up. Why? Because many people at the time believed death wasn't the end. A king or queen would continue ruling in the next life, and if they still needed servants, those servants had to go with them, forever. Some evidence suggests poison may have been used. Others may have been killed before the tomb was sealed. Whatever happened, none of them ever walked out again. But here's what's truly disturbing. This wasn't the last time history would bury women alive. Centuries later, thousands of miles away, another terrifying tradition appeared. A ritual known as Sati. A husband dies, his funeral begins, the fire is lit, and suddenly, every eye turns toward his widow. She isn't expected to mourn. She's expected to die. Some historical accounts describe women choosing it, but many others describe something very different. Women surrounded by crowds, prevented from escaping, sometimes restrained, sometimes forced back toward the flames. Some historical accounts claim drums were played, possibly to drown out the screams, because refusing wasn't simply seen as disobedience, it was seen as dishonor. But the horror didn't end there. In parts of ancient China, some rulers were buried alongside wives, concubines, or attendants who were expected to accompany them into the afterlife. Among the Scythians, some elite burials also included human sacrifices. Different civilizations, different beliefs. Yet the same terrifying idea kept returning, that a woman's life didn't truly belong to her, even after death. So why did these traditions survive for centuries? There were three powerful reasons. First, religion. Many believed human sacrifice could satisfy the gods, or guarantee a better afterlife. Second, power. In many societies, a wife was seen as part of her husband's household. If he died, some believed she should follow him. And finally, fear. Not fear of death, fear of the living. A woman who refused could lose everything. Her family, her home, her place in society. Sometimes, even her life. No trial, no crime, just fear, dressed up as tradition. Today, we look back and call these practices barbaric. But for the people living then, they called them honor. They called them duty. They called them faith. And that's what makes history truly frightening. Because the most terrifying acts are often committed by ordinary people who believe they're doing the right thing. So ask yourself, what are we doing today that future generations may one day see exactly the same way?